I left my pension on the default setting for years without ever checking it. But that's one of the biggest mistakes you can make with your retirement money. So recently, I actually sat down and went through mine in detail. And these are the 5 key things that influenced my decision on where my pension is invested. First of all, what asset classes are you invested in? A lot of default funds put most of your money into bonds, gilts, property, or cash type assets. And that might be a good fit if you have very low risk tolerance or you are close to retirement. But keep in mind, those tend to have much lower yields compared to equity funds or stocks on the long term. Number 2 is how diversified is the fund that you're invested in. Mine covers about 1,500 companies across emerging and developed markets and various sectors like technology, healthcare, and consumer goods. One thing to watch, some funds tend to have super high exposure to the US. Personally, anything above 65% invested into a single country feels too concentrated for me. Number 3 is the expense ratio, aka how much are you being charged annually for holding the fund. I'm currently paying about 0.25%, which comes to about £2.50 annually for every £1,000 invested. Actively managed funds tend to have higher expense ratios than index tracking funds, but that doesn't mean that they will perform better. And the last one is annualized return. Past performance doesn't guarantee anything, but it's still worth comparing your fund to something like the S&P 500 or other funds available to you. When I was choosing, there was 2 funds I narrowed it down to, but in the end I went with the one that had slightly worse annualized performance just because it was better diversified. This is super important for long-term investing because it gives me resilience. So those are the 4 key things I've taken into account when choosing a pension fund. And now that I started making some money from content, I want to invest some of that into a SIP. So if that's something you're interested in, make sure to follow along.